Well, hi. Uh, Happy June to you. It's a hot, getting to be a hot month here in North Carolina, but just wanted to share a little bit with you today on Lead with Love. Something a little bit different, and it's something that we have to explain before I do it, especially if people are not flyers, pilots, or have any time whatsoever in helicopters. I have done about 25 hours now in helicopters, and I am just enjoying it. I mean, it's just an amazing flying experience. I can't even describe it. It's so fantastic. I'm really hoping to get an add-on here once FAA approves my medical, which they're going to do. FAA warning to you, I'm telling you, I'm going to keep after you letter by letter by letter. So hopefully you get my medical back, and I can get this helicopter add-on. But the one thing that is interesting about helicopters is that once that main rotor stops rotating, you just fall like you're an anvil, right? So the main thing is to get that rotor is to keep that rotor rotating. And the way to do it when you lose power is to make it almost like a gyroplane, is to bring it down and continue to move air through the rotors so that the rotors move and you can actually continue to fly even though you have no engine power. And it's called auto rotation. And at the end of the auto rotation, you bring it up and you flare it, and then you bring the power back up in a practice auto rotation. Nice and slow. You bring power back up nice and slow. Right? And the reason you do it nice and slow is because there's what they call a governor in the helicopter, and the governor will take over after certain RPMs, and it'll bring it back up to normal RPM. So you do it nice and slow. Well, I learned later on from my instructor that when you go from fixed wing aircraft to helicopters, when you come in on that flare, the first thing you want to do is hit that power in, because normally you push the power in whenever you're trying to go around, right? So what happens is we just, plane pilots tend to, we rip that in there. What happens is it's called an overspeed. And an overspeed is when you overclock. It's like overclocking a chip uh, on a PC, but like, 1,000 times worse. When you overspeed, what happens is you're putting that engine in a stressful situation. And I got to show you this because this is actual video that I did with a GoPro on my head during an actual overspeed situation. I'm gonna try to pause it at the overspeed situation to make sure that you guys can all see it. But this is in North Carolina. Um, the instructor is no longer there, not because of this situation, because he had other things to do. But it was a scary situation, and this instructor was absolutely fantastic, and I mean, uh, was able to control the situation very very quickly. This was totally my fault on this, and because I'm a student, and students are learning, and this is what happens. So it's an R-22 Robinson, seats two people and two people only. It's not a big helicopter at all. These are the main instruments here that I'm showing you with the mouse arrow here. But you also have to you have to very much take into consideration these instruments that are here. So I'm going to bring it around, and I'm going to show you we were at a relatively high altitude, not high altitude, but a higher altitude than normal because of the auto rotation. And so he's getting ready to do it, and the auto rotation, and you'll see it because as I start coming around. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just keep it going here, because we're going to come around. There we go. Now we're here. We're here on basically base leg, and what he's going to do is at any time he's going to pull the power, and when he pulls the power, uh, then we'll start the auto rotation. And interestingly enough, so it comes around, and I don't know, I can't see this area right here. You'll see this drop when he's getting ready to do it. Um, so I think we're in it right now in the auto rotation. So we're coming down the auto rotation. We're doing fine. The speed is about 70 knots here. I think that's about 70 knots. We have no power. This is reading basically nothing, and we're coming down. Now we're coming down pretty quick, but he's going to pull back on the cyclic here, and at that point, then I should. Now at this point, we're going to come up on a flare. At the flare point, which means I pull this back, then you put in, notice I'm putting in a lot of right rudder here because that's, or right, right pedal, because that's what we're doing here. And this is still reading 0. So we're coming down. Now he's flaring. Now at this point, again, a lot of right rudder, right anti-yaw, anti-torque pedal, whatever you want to call it. Now, at this point right here, this is when you get the overspeed. In other words, I just pump that thing right back in. Just as one, just like a motorcycle, right? So and you can see it's really dark here, but if you could, hopefully you can see it a little bit better. But here, right here, you can see where that RPM just shot right up to the top area here. That's called an overspeed. Now watch what happens to the helicopter at the point of the overspeed. Just goes nuts, right? There's a lot of buffeting, a lot of things happening. You see here, is your clutch light. I mean, a lot of things are coming onto play here. It's I mean, you're actually getting a red light here. So then the clutch light goes out. All of a sudden, he recovered it right to a hover, and that's it. I mean, and you can back this up, move it forward, do whatever you need to do, but you can see where this is extremely, extremely dangerous to do that. And this instructor, fantastic, took care of the whole situation in a matter of seconds. Now, let me just go back again and show you. So coming in, right, flaring at this point, and pretty scary situation. So come up, and I should put in the power nice and slow. Nope, woo, I hit it. All of a sudden, bang. Hey, I mean, and in a matter of what was that? 3 seconds, 4 seconds, boom. Instructor put it right back where it was. I mean, really, really, really fantastic job. Really glad I've had very good instructors here. Very, very, very good instructors at this flight school in North Carolina. I mean, they are fantastic. And so now what he did was, proper thing to do is took off again. He let me take off. So there's the confidence, right? He let me take off again. I mean, it's like, okay, this was the problem. I know it's not you as a pilot, not you as a flyer. We're going to do this again. And he did it again. So we did it again, came around, and this time he took the controls, brought it around. I brought it around, got it right. And watch how brings it back, and then easy on the power, nice and slow. And that's it. That's it. I mean, and that's what it's all about. So that I think that this it was just a really, really good lesson for me, to go from one to the other. And I mean, nothing I don't think will ever. I mean, doing this it was scary, but it was something that once I saw it and I saw it could happen so easily, it made me more aware, especially of that throttle and how sensitive that throttle really is. So that's it. I mean, I wanted to share that with you, share that video with you, and make sure you understood, exactly what was going on with the overspeed and how that can be prevented just by easing in. And it's so hard to do. I mean, it's easy for me to say, but you're in that flare position, you're putting that cyclic back, and your eyes are real big because that runway is coming up at you, or that taxiway, whatever it was, and you're coming back, and all of a sudden it's like, I gotta get the power on quick. That's not going to work. So you have to make sure to make that happen. And that's a little bit. I just wanted to share that with you. It was a harrowing experience. It happened several years ago, as a matter of fact. This was not something new and different. I found it because I wanted to show my current instructor what happened 2 years ago. 2 years ago, this happened, and I still carry it with me. That type of thing. That like I said, the guy left. The instructor left, but it wasn't because of that. He was an excellent instructor. He wanted to get back to his home state, so he moved to another state, and so that's basically what happened there. So I just want to share that with you again for the last time. And thank you so much for watching Lead with Love. Learn, offer, value, educate. And I think that the learning aspect on this whole thing, I wanted to offer you something that you could value and educate others with. And maybe you can share the video. That's okay with me. There's nothing copyrighted about the video at all. Have a good time with it. Any helicopter instructors who wants to show it and say, look, this is what happens on an overspeed. We don't want to do this. Maybe we want to do something better. This is how to prevent this, and this is how to make sure that it doesn't happen. And that would be great. And let me tell you, if you want to use this video, like I said, I don't care. It's really not copyrighted. You can use it. But man, if you could give me credit, that would be fantastic. Just a name would be great, especially in flying videos or something you want to share with. And thank you so much, and take care. And always lead with love, right? Lead with learning, learn, offer, value, and educate. I appreciate you watching the show, and take care. Have a great week.